Squad! What's up, y'all? It's your boy AI, the animated intellectual, back again. And we are talking about episode 5 of The Owl House. And whew, what an episode. What an episode. Alright, so let's just go from the top. So we learn that, there was a little bit of an incident, and Gus contributed, I should say, in hurting Willow. He's feeling down, is what it is. So he's feeling down about being an illusionist. He's not really, it's not all that. He's having doubts about his chosen interest field. And we see some students at Glandis. They save a kid. They did it. And first off, that child, that child got the voice of a grown man. Absolutely not. I refuse. That child sounds like he's been smoking for 35 years. So that's just one thing. So now he sees all this stuff, and now they're going on this journey, I guess. And yeah, they're going on the journey, and he wants to go along, show that he's this, that, and the third. And that dude, Matty, Bartholomew, whatever his name is, it's just some ego stuff. He tags along with them to go find the Galder Stones, and that's cool. And then we switch back to Luz. She's in the library, which this moment was funny with that little child just learn how to summon the Dark Lord. Like, I made a TikTok about it. I'll put it right here, right now.
Come on, give it back.
No!
If you give me back my hairband, I'll read you whatever book you want tomorrow.
Finally! I can learn how to summon the Dark Lord!
And we see, Luz blushing at Amity. So now they're really now driving home the Luz and Amity thing. And it's not just Amity doing the blushing now. Now it's also coming from Luz. So it's like, okay, now, it's building, it's picking up pace. So I like that. And she's looking for the diary of Philip Wittebane. That's his name, the human that lived in Bonesborough. And yeah, so they exchange information. The siblings, that was really clutch. The siblings just, okay, yeah, we kind of gotta go. Leave them to have their conversation. Get you some friends like that, man. It is so dope when they're friends that, like, they see that you're trying to have a moment, you feel me? And it's just like, all right, so here's this, let me just move this over here a little bit. Here's this random thing that I have to do right now at the moment, so I'm going to go and let you guys have your conversation. Get you friends like that. Always great to have. So they're, looking at the stacks, or they're going into, like, the forbidden section, or whatever it is that Amity works there. So they're searching for the diary. And now we go back to the forest, and we see the Glandis students where they're talking about, what's going on. Little things here and there. That one student that's distracted by the butterflies. The other one that clearly has, like, daddy issues. His father doesn't pay attention to him. Then there's the girl. And then there's Gus and Matty, whatever his name is. And, Gus is getting cool, using the glyphs, experimenting with other types of magic, seeing how cool and useful they are. And, yeah. So now, we go back to the stacks in the library, and is it me, or do all, like, vaults of library stuff in these fantasy worlds, do they all kind of look the same? Like, the forbidden section in Harry Potter, the main maester place where you go to be trained as a maester in Game of Thrones, and even freaking from Castlevania, the Belmonts, that whole library full of all their secrets and everything that Trevor gave to Alucard, it all looks the same. Just these deep caverns, twisting, winding stairs full of stuff. So, it all looks the same. But they're looking for, the things, and they're hiding from the main guy. and they're a little bit disappointed. Luz doesn't want to get in any trouble, and she's like, maybe I could show you one day. They had the whole bookworms thing, and then Amity heard that, and it's just like, oh snap! We find in that diary. It's like, oh, that's like a date. That's a potential date. Oh, nah, I'm going there. So that was really clutch to see, and yeah, we're getting that. So now transitioning back to it, Gus and the squad of the kids, they're talking about how Gland is essentially ruled by the powerful. And it's another one of these tropes again. The people that are the strongest are on top, and the school is like just the pecking order. So you're telling me that adults just don't exist. They just let the kids do whatever they want, and all ridiculous. It's pretty much, for any of you that read webtoons, it's like Unordinary. It's basically like that. And all these other, it's like, yo, I'm throwing hands. F out of here. So now we get to the point where we realize, okay, this is what they get to the Galderstones, right? And they're realizing, they amplify the power. And quickly with the Galderstones, this is a deep cut. This is for people that are definitely my age and older, right? Do the Galderstones not remind you of Vlarek shards from Chaotic? The Galderstones are these stones that amplify magic power, and they do the thing, right? Versus in Chaotic, Vlarek shards, they're these stones that they amplify, I think, earth-based powers. If you're holding them, you use your powers and spells and whatnot. But it's like, granted, this could be just a fantasy trope that's in everywhere and all these stuff. There's the shards or that look and, power up attacks. But they're the same kind of bluish color as well, the Galderstones and the Vlarek shards. But now, it's clutch because we're going around here and we see that, Gus realizes, like, yo, this is a graveyard. We can't be desecrating the graveyard, right? The Galderstones, we gotta, keep them intact. Like, this is a graveyard. This isn't cool. He's not being a colonizer. He has a conscience. And the kid's like, these are just illusionists. Like, who cares? And it's like, wow. Typical colonizer thought process. So, of course it'll come from people from a school like that, think the weak, the strong rule, blah, all that nonsense. So just hands. And yeah, they're illusionists, and no one really has the highest regard for illusionists. So now we go back to the library. They find the diary. Saul was eaten by the Echo Mouse. And Luz being Luz just can't shut up. Can't shut up. And that ends up with Amity getting fired. And like, yo, I get it, but I am sick and tired of these tropes with these ridiculously good, like, kid characters or whatnot that just can't get a grasp on things. Like, shut up! Whether it's Luz from the Owl House, Star from Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Kipo from Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts, or Steven from Steven Universe. Like, y'all get in the way so much. So much. Obviously, they all end up growing up. Like, Kipo, she had to learn the Mega Beast stuff. And Steven, he definitely learned. But still, like, yo, you'll be learning this stuff too late. Like, just shut up. Oh my gosh. So Amity ends up getting fired from her job. And yeah. So go back to the Galderstones, and they see that the dude who's guarding it is an illusionist. He lets his guard down, talks to Gus, and the stronger kids, they tie them all up. Because like, oh, it's just an illusionist, who cares? And the guy explains that Galderstones really were the only ones given to the illusionists because illusionists gain no real power from them, so they're the least likely to be evil with them. Makes sense. But here come Kathy Colonizer and the rest of the squad to just, like, just stop. And when they were able to let him, when Maddie was able to let Gus and the guy go, the guy was just like, should I call the hounds? And Gus is like, I want to get a little bit more creative. And I'm sitting here like, no, let him call the hounds. Call the hounds. No, these kids deserve to get their asses beat. Call the hounds. What? Shoot, I would have called the hounds. All right, so now here is where it gets great. This is beautiful, right? So we see that Gus goes full like Mysterio from Spider-Man Homecoming, fully using the power of illusions to his advantage. And I love this. This is why people didn't realize how powerful illusions go. And the illusion guy explained it. He laid the entire illusion over the graveyard to make it look like it was cursed. And then the next part of the illusion is you have to make it feel tangible, right? Illusions can't touch or hurt or anything, but then Gus combined it with the physical touch of his body grabbing onto the girl. It's just like, oh snap, the illusion became real. And not only that, using the illusion to negate the things that would negate the illusion. Strong enough illusion, make it seem like her magic circle isn't working. Strong enough illusion, make it seem like her hand is, is crumbling away. And the same way that Mysterio was able to make his illusions, he had like the Stark tech to make it physical and tangible too. The same way that Mysterio was able to do it, that's how Gus and them are going to evolve. People don't understand. Illusions, it's not like the hard-hitting stuff like, rocks or anything, but it messes with your mind. It messes with your senses. And when you can control that, people just don't be thinking outside of the box. That's why I'm telling you, illusionists, gotta give it to them. But they gonna learn. So now, kind of skipping all that stuff now, we see that, Amity is talking with her siblings and, she's feeling things she's never felt before. She's developing a crush for the first time. I like the support of siblings, just like the sister was like, hey, maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe it ain't. I don't think it's a bad thing. So now, Luz comes back. Luz did her Luz thing. She had to fight some stuff to make up for what she did was wrong, which I commend Luz for doing that. Despite the fact that I threw shade earlier, I commend her for trying to rectify the things that she does. So, definitely give her that much respect. And they hear the Echo Mouse. He does his thing. And we see, Philip Wittebane talking about how he first came through and how he's trying to get back. And we see the door and everything. So there's so much history here. And also, I want y'all to realize something. I'm going to make a video about this, but the demon eye, the monster eye, whatever it is, that makes up the door, we see that a lot in little places here and there in the Owl House world. So, who knows? There's going to be something. And yeah, and of course, end the episode off with Amity kissing Luz on the cheek. And yeah, that was really cute. But now, I have a theory, okay? I think this is going to be a romance theory. Alright, so, playing up Amity and Luz, right? But here's what I think. I think that the Golden Guard is going to come through and become like a love interest to one of them, to someone in the show, but I'm putting my eyes specifically on Amity and Luz because they're like the main characters of the show. I think it would be dope if, face reveal, we see what he looks like. He definitely looks like a pretty boy, one of those things. And from the little peek that we see at his face from the opening credits. And he's gonna become a love interest to someone. And there's gonna be this whole thing in like the season finale where, there's gonna be, it will make the story like just add another layer of like, ooh, or intrigue or interest. It's just like, all right, someone doesn't know whether to choose between the Golden Guard or them. It's just gonna play up the conflict. And then even maybe the reverse. Maybe the Golden Guard is going to fall in love with someone. Maybe fall in love with either Luz or Amity. And doesn't know, okay, do I do something? Do I do the right thing because of who I'm in love with? Or they're my friends and all that? Or do I go against Emperor Bellos? There's going to be that duality. There's going to be that, thing. So that's going to be clutch to see how that works. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. He's with someone, with Luz and Amity, someone, they're going to fall for him, he's going to fall for one of them, something's going to happen. So, like, it just works. But, who knows, just a little theory. And, yeah. So that's Owl House episode 5. This season is getting really good. There's little, so much peppered in here and there. It's only freaking 5 episodes. So yeah, that's it. Episode 6. Now I'm going to go watch episode 6, come back and talk about it. And let's see. Owl House is really cementing itself as one of the greats of these new generation of shows. Now that this generation of shows has like found their footing and solidified what they're about. Like, not to say that we haven't gotten great shows in the past, Amazing World of Gumball, Steven Universe, Star vs. the Force of Evil, Gravity Falls, but those were like the beginning next gen, still finding their way, treading water. They made their mark, but it was still that this new next generation of shows hasn't been cemented yet. But now that it is cemented, there's a new generation of shows. The Owl House, Craig of the Creek, Big City Greens, Amphibia. They're really like these are hitters, man. These are hitters. So yeah. So I'm gonna go watch episode 6. I'll be back in a little bit, and I'll talk to y'all later about some more Owl House. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's get down to it. I'm AI the Animated Intellectual, and I'll see y'all later. AI out!